Growing older doesn't have to mean feeling old. But if you're over 50 and find yourself waking up tired, stiff, or just off, it might not be your age that's the problem. There's one hidden factor stealing your vitality and making you feel decades older than you are. Today, I'm going to gently reveal this secret and share simple, caring ways to help you feel young, energetic, and full of life again. If you want to regain your youthful energy and live life with joy and strength, please like this video and subscribe. Share your experiences or struggles in the comments. Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. Low-level chronic inflammation often builds quietly in the body over years, becoming a silent energy thief for many over 50. This ongoing inflammation causes fatigue, muscle aches, joint stiffness, and a pervasive feeling of being old, even when other health measures appear normal. Doctors explain that unlike acute inflammation, which is a helpful immune response to injury, chronic inflammation lingers and wears down the body's systems. It can affect muscles and organs, reducing overall vitality. Managing this hidden enemy is key to restoring energy and maintaining a more youthful feeling. Research shows that inflammation is linked to many age-related conditions, so keeping it under control can dramatically improve quality of life. Some experts emphasize that inflammation is often the root cause behind unexplained tiredness and body pains that seniors experience. Understanding this connection is the first step toward healthier aging. Poor nutrition directly fuels inflammation, making many seniors feel sluggish and older than they should. Processed foods loaded with unhealthy fats, excessive sugar, and artificial additives overwhelm the body's defense systems, causing a rise in inflammatory markers. Studies show that diets high in refined sugars can increase oxidative stress, damaging cells and contributing to chronic inflammation. Doctors warn that consuming fast food, packaged snacks, and sugary drinks regularly can accelerate this process. Over time, these foods not only harm metabolism, but also worsen aches and fatigue, creating a vicious cycle that drains energy. Avoiding these harmful dietary choices is crucial for reducing inflammation. Instead, focusing on whole, unprocessed foods supports the body's natural ability to heal and stay vibrant. Understanding how poor nutrition feeds inflammation helps seniors make smarter eating choices that protect their health. Living a sedentary lifestyle compounds the feeling of aging, making muscles weak, joints stiff, and inflammation worse. 1 hours spent sitting slow circulation and limit oxygen flow to tissues, contributing to chronic aches and fatigue. Research highlights that inactivity promotes inflammatory chemicals in the body, increasing vulnerability to diseases common in seniors. Doctors advise that even light movement, such as short walks or gentle stretching, can counter these effects by boosting circulation and muscle strength. A sedentary routine weakens the body's natural defenses and accelerates the loss of vitality. Seniors wish to avoid. Incorporating simple daily activity helps break the cycle of stiffness and exhaustion. Movement is a powerful remedy that supports joint health and lowers inflammation, making it essential for anyone who wants to feel younger and more energetic. Chronic stress is another major factor that ages the body prematurely by raising inflammation and draining mental and physical energy. Stress causes the release of cortisol, a hormone that in excess harms immune function and fuels inflammation. Doctors note that prolonged stress wears down the nervous system, leading to exhaustion and a sense of feeling older than one's actual years. Studies link high stress levels to increased inflammation markers and faster aging of cells. Mental tension also disrupts sleep and digestion, further reducing energy and resilience. Managing stress is vital for slowing this process. Techniques like deep breathing, meditation, and spending time in nature have been shown to calm the body's stress response. Understanding stress's role in accelerating aging motivates seniors to prioritize relaxation as part of their health routine. Reducing stress is essential to preserve youthful energy and vitality. Certain foods and habits offer powerful protection against inflammation and its draining effects on energy. Antioxidant-rich fruits and vegetables neutralize harmful molecules that trigger inflammation, and tissue damage. Omega-3 fatty acids found in fish like salmon or flax seeds support brain and joint health by calming inflammatory responses. Many studies demonstrate how diets abundant in these nutrients reduce chronic inflammation and boost overall vitality. Doctors often recommend embracing Mediterranean-style eating patterns, which combine anti-inflammatory foods and healthy fats. Beyond diet, habits such as getting regular sunlight for vitamin D and maintaining hydration also help control inflammation. Adding these foods and practices to daily life can restore energy levels and promote a youthful feeling inside and out. The power of anti-inflammatory nutrition and habits is a cornerstone for vibrant aging. Gentle exercise offers a natural, effective way to reduce inflammation and bring back strength and vitality. Low-impact activities like walking, swimming, or yoga stimulate circulation, enhance joint flexibility, and improve muscle tone without causing strain or injury. Research supports that regular moderate exercise lowers inflammatory markers and increases the body's production of healing substances. Doctors emphasize that consistent movement not only fights inflammation, but also boosts mood and energy, essential for seniors wanting to maintain independence. Exercise helps break the cycle of stiffness and fatigue that can make aging feel debilitating. Even short daily sessions can rebuild resilience and improve overall quality of life. Choosing enjoyable, gentle exercise is a key strategy to feel younger, stronger, and full of life. This comprehensive approach, understanding and controlling inflammation through nutrition, movement, stress management, and anti-inflammatory habits, empowers seniors over 50 to regain vitality and live with joy and strength. Chronic inflammation may be silent, but it doesn't have to steal your energy or age you prematurely. By embracing simple, proven strategies, anyone can protect their health and enjoy more energetic, youthful years ahead. Taking small steps today leads to big changes tomorrow, offering a brighter, healthier future.